Hey everyone, this here is me pulling apart an alternator. Basically, I had purchased this. It was 110 volts, 110 amps, 12 volt, and I had problems with it. So I took it apart and I rewired it to be 48 volts. I had used a really thin gauge wire just as a test to see what my windings needed to be, how it was going to turn out, and it was a successful test. Unfortunately, I wasn't putting much more than an amp into my battery bank, so it didn't charge it very well. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking it apart and I'm going to strip out the copper and I'm going to put in a thicker gauge winding. I'm going to use only 20 gauge because I don't need more than 15 amps for my battery bank. And since I'm going to be using a flip switch in order to flip between two different 48 volt battery banks to continuously run the alternator generator, while one is running the generator, the secondary battery bank will be charged by this 48 volt alternator. Now, as you can see, there was already a broken wire. I'm going to pull all this apart. Sorry about the big fat head in the way, guys. I'll do the best I can to keep it out of there. Basically, I'm narrating a pre-recorded video earlier today. My audio is not very good when I'm recording, so I'm dubbing my audio in afterwards. As you can tell, I'm kind of long-winded. I said that in a previous video. Apologize. Bad jokes. I know, I get it. Alright, so what I do here is I basically pry it out of the case, and then I start cutting away the copper. Let's see if I can speed this up just a little bit for you. Alternators are kind of big. They're hard to pull apart with my two hands, but I can get a decent grip on them. Unfortunately, metal loves to it doesn't like to let go easily. So as you can see, I'm prying with a screwdriver. Again, sorry about the fat head. Alright. Speed this up just a little for everybody. Basically me prying. And there we go. That's the inside core of the alternator. We can get into that in a future video. And that was my really funny winding. And as shoddy as it looks, it worked. So I've built a template and I'm going to put it all together with heavier gauge. Like I said, I'm only looking for about 15 amps, 48 volts. That's enough to charge my battery bank quick enough for the flip-flop to basically run the generator never ending. Once I'm done this, I'll do a demonstration. So I'll speed this up for you just a little bit more. Alright, so this is pretty basic. I don't think anybody wants me to run all the way through this. But I'm basically just cutting away the copper. And as you can see, it's fairly easy because this is 24 gauge wire that's in there. I thought it was 22, but it's actually 24. It's very thin. So when I put the 20 gauge in there, it'll be a little thicker, a little tighter, but nonetheless a lot easier than what they originally have in there, which I think is 14 gauge, but it might be 16. Don't quote me on that. I'll just speed this up a little. And it's just me cutting it away. All right, everybody. You have a great day. This is part 1.